What's going on YouTube? My name is Batman, and I wanted to take this moment while Advanced Warfare is still under the intense spotlight of a new COD's launch to advocate for a change in policy that would reinvent COD as we know it. It would form stronger bonds with large swaths of the community and ultimately boost the sales of a franchise that, following the colossal disappointment of Ghosts, really could use a boost more so now than ever. The time has come for Call of Duty to embrace the sandbox, to implement a proper theater mode with enhanced editing capabilities, to implement a world builder, a custom maps mechanism like that which you've seen in Forge with Halo, through which any player, casual or advanced, may leave their mark on the game, and lastly and most importantly, to repeal any policy prohibiting player-generated mods, and likewise to provide any and all tools available that will help to increase the efficiency, quality, and creative options available to the modding community. Such tools as have been made available by Mojang and Bethesda in Minecraft and Skyrim respectively. These are simple things that in some ways have already been done in COD before on numerous occasions. These are meaningful things that would go a long way towards increasing the replay value of Call of Duty, and they could be done in DLC, and they should be done as soon as possible. It's something Call of Duty needs right now. Advanced Warfare is good. It's better than Ghosts, but is it really that much better than Black Ops 2? Has it really pushed the boundaries of COD that far? I would argue the quality of this franchise is about on par with its quality 2 years ago, which was, in turn, on par with the quality of COD 10 years ago. Maintaining the status quo of the last decade isn't good enough anymore. If COD wants to win back its glory, it needs to boldly go where no AAA title presently has the balls to go. And the hardware capabilities should be there. It's time to take advantage of the next generation consoles. If Activision is interested in the future of this franchise, if any of us are, then we ought to be interested in moving forward. Advanced Warfare, despite its many innovations, lacks next-gen features. It is stuck in the past, and it will die there if more is not done immediately to not only meet the basic standards set forth by this rambunctious community, but to exceed them. Now, this is something I've recommended in a more limited scope for Battlefield in the past. In fact, it's something I would recommend for basically every game out there. But it's something that could really be taken advantage of in an unmatched way on Call of Duty, simply because of COD's relative simplicity and accessibility to the masses. It is time for Activision to open up Call of Duty to the sandbox community as a whole, to the modders who will serve as syrup lathered over an otherwise dull pancake. We know that there is a strong, diverse, vibrant, and creative community of modders and hackers that, despite every possible roadblock put up by Activision, have still managed to create some very interesting and unique COD content. Imagine what they could do if, instead of working against them, the COD gods instead worked with them. Even less, in fact. They don't even have to do that much. Just give them a basic opportunity and the freedom to do what they do. Haven't you ever wanted to dual-wield ray guns in multiplayer? Dead Ops Arcade in the first person, Star Wars COD, and Paintball COD? I know you've all seen some sick-ass custom zombies maps by now, some sick-ass custom zombies mods in general. Think of everything they could do. Imagine exosuits in zero gravity. Imagine 10,000 new co-op modes to choose from, custom campaign missions. Imagine using that hoverbike from the campaign in multiplayer. Dinosaurs and Kevin Spacey zombie custom character skins, using that prosthetic arm as a melee primary weapon, a constant stream of new multiplayer game modes, an infinite amount of custom camos and character skins and armory pieces, infinite, from the intellectually stimulating to the borderline absurd and everything in between. There is nothing healthier for a game than a functional modding community, because games survive on replay value and word of mouth. If replay value and word of mouth are water, then the modding community is a fucking fire hose. Every time a new modification is constructed, whether it is as small as a new weapon camo or as big as a new weapon class, it will be talked about. Whoever created it will encourage others to try it, because every creator wants the gratification of an audience and they will work towards that audience. There will be websites dedicated wholly to COD mods available for the masses consumption. There will be videos, entire channels dedicated to COD modding. And just look at the way it rolls off the tongue. A COD mod, it was meant to be. Just look at what they've done with Skyrim. You can make it an entirely new game if you want. Search it on YouTube if you want a taste of what an amateur modding community can do to a game. And every time a new mod is advertised, every time one becomes popular and catches on and people are talking about it, they are also talking about COD. They will be spreading the word through their mouths, the word of COD, and when they get on to play these new mods, they will be playing something new every time, and thus replaying Call of Duty over and over and over again. At the very least, it would greatly reduce the amount of those fuckers trying to hack the leaderboard. Suddenly they'd have something positive to devote their time to. They want to leave their mark, any mark, and the harder you try to stop them, the harder they will look for any crack in the armor. And they'll always be able to find it. Open the floodgates, and instead of working together to cause havoc, let them compete against one another to make the game better and the gameplay more diverse. But of course, don't limit these capabilities to only those players with advanced technical expertise and coding skills. Put in an architect mode and give any player with enough drive an opportunity to contribute to the game they love. We know there's an incredible community of amateur content creators, not modders, just incredibly creative people who are without a doubt understimulated and undervalued at work. Builders. They can't code, but give them the proper mechanism and they will blow your fucking minds away, because that's what they always do. We see them do incredible things on Minecraft, we see them do incredible things on Halo Forge, and I know that strictly statistically speaking, some of those Minecraft players and some more of those Halo players also play COD. Or at least they did. Maybe they stopped, as so many others have. But I know what could bring them back again. A custom map creator, like Forge from Halo. Call it a generator. It's some kind of fancy simulator machine in an Atlas laboratory like we saw in level 2 of the campaign when POTUS gets pwned. COD maps aren't that complex. Green Band, that map on top of the skyscrapers, an amateur could have built that in architect mode. Solar could have been built by an amateur. The beauty of COD maps lies in their simplicity, a simplicity that amateurs can thrive on. If incredible maps can be built for Halo by the player base, maps so good they get implemented into the ranked playlists, surely we can do the same for COD, and in fact it already has been done for COD. Look it up on YouTube, you can find many custom multiplayer and zombies maps online. Obviously we know there's an armada of creative filmmakers out there, I'm one of them. YouTubers are basically advertisers, we drive word of mouth, and I would argue that COD owes us a huge part of its rapid growth and success over the last decade. Why would we not be encouraged? Currently we are limited in our capabilities, we've been restricted to the same exact video format for years. In the brief period of time we had access to theater mode, YouTubers made the most of it. The diversity of videos uploaded, the amount of videos uploaded blew up. But then it was taken from us, I believe because they felt that with the new consoles having their own built-in DVRs, theater mode was no longer necessary. But this is simply not true. The DVRs do not cut it. They are limited in their capacity for creative opportunity, the same way our capture cards are. We need an actual in-game theater mode that provides access to a free roam camera, and thus any amount of different camera angles becomes available and dramatically increases the kinds of cinematic experiences we filmmakers can provide. We need rewind and fast forward options as well, and just imagine how incredible any future COD videos would be if not only we had more camera angle options, but the added benefit of mods and custom maps to be filmed. Imagine the possibilities, the incredible movies any filmmaker could conjure up with the combined power of an entire community's creativity at their fingertips. YouTube videos are advertising. Make it the most potent form of word of mouth and consumer outreach there has ever been. COD's biggest problem, in fact the debilitating problem with every major game in the last 2 years, is that they try to be everything to everyone. It's not possible. Everyone has different preferences, often those preferences are contradicting. Player modding and custom maps can solve that problem. Let the fanbase forge its own unique experience. Let the players exponentially maximize the replay value of this game by each adding their own level of creativity and injecting their own passion into Call of Duty. The larger the pool of talent you draw from for your game, the more great ideas will be discovered. A development team can only bring so much to the table, and a development team can only be so big. But meanwhile, there's a fan base 20 million strong, many of whom have their own personal relationship with this franchise, many of whom have their own ideas for how to make things better, many such ideas that could be perfect when catered to a specific type of player, but are left out simply because they are not perfect for every type of player. Give this game life. Let it be more than an empty soulless object, but a platform of evolution, the ground floor of 1,000 stories of complex masterpieces. Let each demographic cater to themselves and build their own special part of the game designed with their preferences in mind. An optional build, no options, mo quality. Thousands of different options for how to play. Everyone will be able to find the modded lobby that's right for them. Let there be a set of modded playlists and playlists with custom amateur made maps, adding new mods and new maps and anything new into the rotation with every new DLC pack. And I know why mods and custom maps aren't here to begin with, because COD wants to move DLC. They want to sell you the DLC. And it's going to have a hard time selling you DLC if you can get all this other custom replayable content for free. So thus, as a compromise, restrict access to modding and custom maps and even theater mode to only players who have purchased the season pass, and thus Activision's DLC will not have to compete with the community's custom content, for they will be tied at the hip, and to have one you must have bought the other via the season pass, as the season pass sells you all the developers DLC already anyways. With these added benefits that will require little work on the part of the developers, season pass sales will skyrocket, and will continue to skyrocket as more and more mods and custom maps and awesome theater mode crafted YouTube videos continue to push the boundaries of what makes gaming fun. Once you get used to something, it gets old, and because of this, Call of Duty is in decay. The implementation of this policy would give it a new update every day, free of charge to the consumer, free of cost to the publisher. The community will build maps and mods and create amazing cinema, and the devs won't have to lift a finger because the fan base will do it for fun, and that is ultimately where the best work always comes from. And I want forums for COD lore too. Ladies and gentlemen, here and now, stand with me. In the name of mankind and human creativity, demand a COD that is more than a game but an experience, a community, and a catalyst for our collective endeavors and subsequent accomplishment. Please rate if you support the cause. This is Batman, signing out.